This is everything Howie Roseman has been dreaming about, my friend. The Philadelphia Eagles just locked up a former Pro Bowl cornerback on a deal worth up to $15 million. And this move might be exactly what Philly's secondary needed after one of the roughest starts to free agency this fan base has seen in years. I'm going to break down everything about who this player is, what he brings to Vic Fangio's system, and why this contract could go down as one of the best values Howie Roseman has found in the entire offseason. But first, if you're a diehard Eagles fan, hit that like button and subscribe right now, because free agency is moving fast, and we are not slowing down covering every single move this team makes. With the 2026 free agency window in full swing, the Eagles entered the week with 20 players set to hit the open market, including 6 starters. And in those first couple of days, what we watched was a wave of departures. Jalen Phillips headed to the Carolina Panthers on a 4-year, $120 million deal. Reed Blankenship signed with the Houston Texans for 3 years and nearly $25 million. Nakobe Dean was off to the Las Vegas Raiders. After so much bad news, a big one finally went the Eagles' way. The name is Riq Woolen. Riq Woolen, the cornerback who spent the last 4 seasons with the Seattle Seahawks, the team that just won the Super Bowl. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, the Eagles agreed to a 1-year deal worth up to $15 million. Agent Jason Chayut confirmed the agreement. And Schefter made sure to point it out. Woolen is going from the team that just won the Super Bowl to the team that won the Super Bowl the year before. That says a lot. So let's really dig into who this guy is and why this signing matters so much for the future of this Eagles team. Riq Woolen is 26 years old, turning 27 in May, and he has one of the most unique athletic profiles of any cornerback in the NFL today. We are talking about a 6'4" defensive back with 34-inch arms and 4.26 speed in the 40-yard dash. To put that in perspective, most cornerbacks in this league stand somewhere between 5'10" and 6 foot. Woolen is literally bigger than many of the wide receivers he's going to be covering. That creates matchup nightmares that offensive coordinators simply do not have an answer for. What makes Woolen's story even more fascinating is where he came from. Before becoming a professional cornerback, he played wide receiver at UTSA. His feel for ball positioning, his ability to anticipate routes, his willingness to fight for 50-50 balls in the air, all of that traces back to his experience as a pass catcher. He was drafted by the Seahawks in the 5th round of the 2022 NFL Draft, and in his very first professional season, he exploded onto the scene. He led the entire NFL with 6 interceptions and earned a Pro Bowl selection as a rookie. 6 picks as a rookie, my friend. When was the last time you saw that? Over 4 seasons in Seattle, Woolen made 53 starts. His most recent season was marked by a timeshare situation. He started 7 games early in the year before splitting snaps with other corners in Seattle's scheme. That may have created some uncertainty around his market value, but the numbers tell a very different story, and it's a story that should have Eagles fans genuinely excited. According to Next Gen Stats, last season Woolen allowed a completion rate of just 27.6% in man coverage, the lowest mark among all defenders with at least 20 targets in man-to-man coverage since at least 2018. You read that right, since at least 2018. Over 29 targets in man coverage, Woolen surrendered just 73 yards. That works out to 2.5 yards per target, a number that is frankly absurd. Quarterbacks essentially stopped throwing his way. He was targeted on just 11.7% of his coverage snaps, the 5th lowest rate among outside cornerbacks with at least 250 coverage snaps on the season. Now think about what that means for the Eagles. Last season, Philadelphia used man coverage on 24.5% of their coverage snaps, a significantly higher rate than the Seahawks themselves, who sat at 15.2%. Vic Fangio's system demands cornerbacks who can lock down receivers one-on-one at the highest level, and Woolen is exactly that. He is the kind of player who makes opposing quarterbacks decide they'd rather throw somewhere else entirely. But let me explain what the real problem was in the Eagles' secondary, and why this isn't just a good signing, it's a necessary one. During the 2025 season, the outside cornerback position became a visible weakness on this football team. Adoree Jackson, who was starting on the outside, finished the year with a 54.1 PFF coverage grade, well below what you expect from a CB2 on a championship-caliber team. He was targeted on 18% of his coverage snaps, the 3rd highest rate among qualifying cornerbacks in the entire league. Teams were deliberately attacking Jackson's side of the field, week after week. It was an exploitable weakness, and opposing offensive coordinators knew it. With Jackson now heading into free agency, the outside cornerback spot next to Quinyon Mitchell was wide open. And Mitchell, who alongside Cooper DeJean forms one of the most exciting young cornerback tandems in the league, is now going to have a high-level outside partner operating beside him. There's another layer to this signing that makes it even more interesting. There is a direct connection between Woolen and the Eagles' coaching staff. Clint Hurtt, Philadelphia's current defensive line coach, served as Woolen's defensive coordinator in Seattle from 2022 through 2023. Hurtt knows this player inside and out. He knows what he's capable of. He knows how to motivate him. He knows how to put him in position to succeed. When Fangio and Hurtt looked at the free agent market and saw Woolen available, you better believe that history played a major role in making this deal happen. Now let's talk about the tactical impact Woolen brings to Vic Fangio's defense. Cooper DeJean, one of the most versatile and talented young cornerbacks in the new generation of the NFL, spent last season playing as an outside corner in base defense before dropping into the slot in nickel packages. With Woolen now taking over the CB2 outside role, DeJean can settle permanently into the slot, which is exactly where he thrives the most. Fangio had even experimented with using DeJean as a safety in base defense during training camp. With this new piece on the board, the coordinator is going to have far more flexibility to construct coverages that genuinely confuse opposing quarterbacks. And the Eagles' man coverage, which was one of the defining pillars of their Super Bowl run in the 2024 season, could once again become one of the most feared units in the entire NFL. Now, the contract. 1 year, up to $15 million. In a market where elite cornerbacks are pulling in multi-year deals worth big money, the Eagles made a smart, low-risk play. They are betting on a 26-year-old with elite upside, a proven track record, and the potential to play the best football of his career in Philadelphia. If it works, and the numbers strongly suggest it will, Howie Roseman will have found one of the best values in the entire 2026 free agency class. In fact, CBS Sports already handed this deal a grade of A, pointing out exactly that. It's an extremely favorable contract for Philadelphia. And there's something poetic about this whole thing too. Woolen was a 5th-round pick. Nobody was betting big on him. He went to his first Pro Bowl in year 1. The Eagles have a track record of identifying undervalued talent and turning it into championship-level production. If there's one place in the NFL where a talent like Woolen's can be fully unlocked, it's in Philadelphia, with Vic Fangio drawing up coverages and Howie Roseman building the roster around him. Now, there are still questions to answer. Can Woolen recapture the level he showed as a rookie? Was the timeshare in Seattle last season a red flag, or just a rotation decision? Can Fangio's system bring out his absolute best? Those are the questions the 2026 season will answer. But Roseman's bet looks calculated and well-grounded in the evidence. So what do you think, Eagle fan? Is Riq Woolen the missing piece in Philadelphia's secondary heading into 2026? Or do you think this team still needs more moves on the defensive side of the ball? Drop your take in the comments. I want to hear it. Hit the like button if this video helped you break down the move, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single update from the Eagles' offseason. Free agency is just getting started, my friend, and we're going to be right here for every single step. Fly, Eagles, fly.